welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be making vegan sesame chickpeas. But before we get into the video, make sure to give this video a nice thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss another one of my videos. Alright, let's get started. This is such an easy, delicious recipe that's packed with plant protein, and it's super easy for those of you out there that like to meal prep, but if not, this is so quick, takes 15 minutes, so it's great for a side or maybe even like a lunch or a snack or something like that. Now, we've definitely been on the chickpea track lately with our different hummuses, adding our hummuses to different recipes, with our falafel. We've been on a chickpea track for sure. So we have them here again today, but we're not mixing them up or doing anything. We're just gonna use the chickpeas as our base and make a really delicious, nice sauce with them. Now, like I said with the falafel, that the best way to make falafel is to use dried chickpeas and soak them overnight and do that whole thing. It's not the case here. Today is super easy, convenient, and canned chickpeas are gonna work perfectly. Now, this is another favorite because it's, of course, a one-pan recipe, so you're not going to have all crazy cleanup. We're basically just going to be making the sauce in a saucepan and adding our chickpeas in them since they're already cooked, just to kind of get everything to the same temperature and make sure that all of those sauces and those amazing ingredients and flavors soak up all into the chickpeas. So my favorite way to eat these is to sprinkle some sesame seeds on top, maybe add some broccoli and some nice rice, and you can put some chives or some herbs right on top. Delicious. This would also be great in a bowl. If you guys have seen my quinoa, different kinds of bowls, I can link them right up here. But this would be great just to add some nice plant protein. It's really good because these flavors really can go with anything. You could mix this sauce with chicken, tofu, fish, salmon, anything like that. It's gonna work great, so it's very versatile. So without further ado, let's get started. All you're gonna need for this recipe are 2 cans of chickpeas. You're gonna need some big old garlic cloves, some ginger. If you're using fresh ginger like me, you're going to need less of it, of course, rather than the dried. I'll have all of the ingredients and everything in the description box as always. You're gonna need sesame seed oil, you're gonna need olive oil, you're gonna need some low sodium soy sauce, some maple syrup. Then you're going to need some rice vinegar, some vegetable stock, and I have cornstarch. You can use arrowroot powder. You can use maybe a whole wheat flour just to kind of thicken up your sauce. They'll all work very well. But that's literally it. And this is going to taste so good. It's going to be so easy. So let's go over to the stove. Okay guys, so we're over by the stove. I have my apron on, and now it's time to get started. So I kind of have my ingredients all grouped around here. That's just the way I do it. So what we're going to do is add our olive oil to the pan, and we're going to heat that up a little bit, not anything crazy, like medium heat. And then we're going to be adding our garlic to the pan, and you're just going to saute that for a few minutes just until it gets nice and fragrant. Now, I would definitely recommend using a garlic press for your garlic. That way you don't have any giant chunks of garlic in your sauce. This isn't that type of sauce where you're going to want it like real chunky. So now while we're waiting for that to just cook a little bit, all I'm going to do is I have my other little setup right here, is we're going to take a couple tablespoons of that vegetable broth, and we're going to add our arrowroot powder or your cornstarch, whatever it is that you guys are using, right to the bowl, and then we're just going to mix this around a little bit till you see that there's no clumps. It should kind of look like, stuck. It should kind of look like milk, if that makes sense. Let me try and show you guys. Oh, we're having the same issue where I don't want to spill it. So it should kind of just look like milk. You just want to make sure the most important part is that you don't have any clumps. And we're just gonna set that aside. Now this is looking good, so we're gonna add in everything else and whisk it all together. So I'm gonna add in our ginger. Gonna add in our syrup. If it's spitting back at you too much, just lower the heat. Now if you guys don't want to use syrup, you can also use honey. That is typically what I use, but this recipe, the original recipe calls for syrup. Okay, our sesame oil. Now, the only thing with your sesame oil is it's important to use a really good one because it's going to give off really good flavor. You don't just want any sesame oil. We have our soy sauce. There we go. I'm going to raise the heat a little bit now that we have some more liquid in here and it's not completely spitting at us. And now I'm just going to take that whisk of ours and I'm going to add in the other 2 tablespoons of that vegetable broth that we have. Alright, now we're going to add in that arrowroot mixture with the vegetable broth and the cornstarch. Kind of thicken things up a bit. Now you'll definitely notice this starting to thicken up a bit. Okay, so once you're bubbling like this, it's getting nice and thick, and this is when you're going to want to add in your chickpeas, both hands of chickpeas, and then you're just going to want to mix this around until everything is well coated. And then we're going to be cooking the chickpeas on here for about another 5 minutes, just until everything gets really nice and thick and sticky. You really want to make sure to mix this around good so everything's well coated and all of the chickpeas get to absorb all of those really good flavors. Then you are going to want to make sure that you put this down on low heat when you let this kind of sit for those extra 5 minutes. I'm going to set our timer for 5 minutes, and then we're just going to be kind of occasionally coming in here and stirring everything up. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. Now your sauce should definitely have thickened up some. If you notice, if you take a little spatula like this and you kind of run it through and it stays separated, that's kind of like how you know. So I'm just going to take this off of the heat and let that just kind of sit for a little bit just to get even thicker and absorb those flavors, and then I'm going to make a nice little bowl for you guys and we're going to try some. Okay guys, so we're all done. You should have something that looks like this. Where are you guys? I just paired it with some really thin string beans and some rice. If you guys want to know how to get my lemon rice, I'll make sure to add a link right here. But this looks so good. Now all we need now, I think this is necessary, but it's totally up to you guys. I'm going to add some sesame seeds. Now I definitely think that was a necessity. Check that out. How good does that look? Okay, so we're all done. We have our sesame seeds. It's time to try some. Now just a quick tip. If you guys notice that after a while your sauce still isn't thickening to the amount of thickness that you want, then all you're going to want to do is just add some more of that cornstarch or arrowroot powder just to thicken things up. It'll thicken in no time. But now without further ado, let's try some. So let's grab these chickpeas, some rice, and a string bean. So good, you guys. I can't wait to kind of mess around with this sauce. I want to add this to my kind of fried rice stir fry thing that I do. I think this would be really good. It's definitely way thicker than the sauce that I usually make. So good. Definitely feel free to kind of mess with this, add whatever veggies you want. Maybe you want a different starch, maybe you want quinoa, maybe you want to add some potatoes, some avocado. So good, you guys. Now, as I always say, I don't think these recipes are going to last because you guys are going to eat them right up, but for food safety purposes, this is going to last in the fridge for up to 5 days. Now, beans are really easy to kind of tell when they spoil because they're going to start smelling pretty bad. So if that happens, just toss them, but I don't think you're going to have any left over. And as always, I'm going to have all of the nutrition facts down below in the description box. But that's all I have for this video today, you guys. I hope you liked it and I hope you learned something new. If you did like it, make sure to give this video a nice thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss another one of my videos. If you want to get my exclusive nutrition tips, healthy food recommendations, and delicious recipes just like this one, then make sure to head over to my description box, click the link, and join the fam. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.